All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Becoming Stronger podcast. Now, I know it's been quite a while since the last episode of this, but we are back with a very special guest this week. And the special guest is Samir Troudi. Samir, welcome to the show.
Thanks. Pleasure to be here.
I'm very happy to have you on here. My dad and I are huge fans of you. And a couple weeks ago, I had Jeremy Potvin on the show, and he was talking about how he and his dad are also huge fans of you.
Oh, thanks. Cool.
Yeah. I wanted to hear, what do you think of Jeremy moving to Classic from Men's Physique?
I think it's a good idea. I mean, like, everybody decide what they want to do themselves, of course. And I think, like, if you feel that you are being held back by the class you're competing in, then you should definitely try to go up one category, at least to see if your physique looks better in another category. I haven't seen his legs, so I can't comment anything about his legs. And I heard him saying that he needs to improve his legs a little bit. So
Yeah.
it will be interesting to see. His upper body is crazy. He has this crazy V taper, and I mean, like he has a non-existing waist.
Yeah.
So like his physique will definitely fit in the classic physique for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think he's going to do quite well in Classic if he can really bring his legs up. Because when he was on here, he was talking about how he will start training his legs a lot more than he used to. But I wanted to say, I first came across you like watching one of your like skateboard videos on Instagram. Like, I see you skateboarding. Getting in any half pipes yet?
No, the thing is, like, I never skateboarded when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I had a skateboard, but my thing was inlines. So I mean, so half pipes and stuff like that, I never tried with the skateboard. I only did like ollies, kick flips, heel flips, and stuff on the ground. But inlines, yeah, I did half pipe and everything.
Nice.
When I was like 15 or 16, inlines was my thing. So we basically rode every day for like 2-3 years. So I was really good, but then you forget everything and you get too heavy, and it's
Yeah, I saw you trying to do an ollie, and then I saw your board snap.
yeah, that's the last thing I ever done with the skateboard, and that's like almost 1 year ago. So
Yeah.
I'm never touching a board again. I just got my inlines back, so I'm gonna try to get back on those, because I think, like, if I just practice for a while, I'll get it back. So, but I felt like the first thing I did.
Yeah. I love how the bodybuilders now are kind of showing what they do outside of bodybuilding and showing like some of the hobbies that they used to do that they're starting to pick up again. But do you think we'll ever get a rollerblading competition between you and James Hollingshead?
I mean, like, James will win for sure. I think. I mean, like, I stopped inline skating for it's the thing is what is it? It's almost 20 years ago. So, and I think James he kept going on for at least a little bit longer than I did. So he will win for sure. Definitely.
My brother just started skateboarding, and
I saw that.
About like
Posted a few videos.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago, and he's dropping in, and like if he ever falls, he just like will take the slam and get right back up and try and drop in again. And he's mastered the drop in, and it's crazy how fast he's picking this thing up, and how, because this is like the first thing he's like really latched onto, and it's cool seeing him do the skateboarding. But I tried dropping in. And I was hovering aboard above the ramp for like maybe like 3 minutes, just standing there waiting to go, because I was so nervous. My heart was pounding, and I was like, I don't want to just like eat the ground. Scary.
I never dropped in with a skateboard. Never.
No.
No, but with like inlines, I've done like front flips and everything, like in the half pipe. So yeah,
that's crazy.
But on skateboard, no, nothing. So only ground stuff on skateboard. So.
people now at like skate parks are going crazy with scooters, and they're always getting in the way. There was a kid at the skate park we go to, and he was like, whenever Ben, my brother, would try and drop in on the skateboard, the kid on the scooter would drive right by, so Ben would have to like crash and just get in everyone's way.
When I was inline skating, when they built all the ramps and skate parks, they were always building them for skaters. So they always try to move us away, all the inliners. We were never accepted to ride with them. So, but now they allow like everything, like bikes, all the scooters and everything. So, but I'm lucky where I live. It's basically empty all the time, so I can go there and I don't have to be ashamed or anything. I can just practice whenever I want. So
a couple of years ago, I think it was a year or two ago, when we were kind of like skateboarding, but none of us were like taking it seriously. And we were just doing it for fun. My dad tried to drop in on a half pipe, and I think when he did, he landed on his hand, and I think he fractured his hand, but he never got it checked out.
Did he skate before, or was it his first time?
Yeah, he used to skateboard like a long time ago. Back when he was a kid.
The problem is you think you can grow up and do the things that you did when he was a kid, but
he collects all the old skateboards and like all the ones from like the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. But I wanted to talk more about like your early beginning and like your transformation, because I'm a huge fan of transformations, like I said in a lot of my videos. And I know that you kind of started bodybuilding when you were in your early 20s, and before that you were like kind of like the skinnier kid, and you were in a band. Do you mind telling us about this and like what sparked
your stuff? Yeah, man. The thing was, like, I was always doing sports when I was young. My main sport was soccer, so I played soccer from I was 10 to 16. And during that time, I was doing other sports on the side. I was doing like inlines, karate, handball, and swimming, all kinds of sports. So I always been very competitive. Always wanted to try different sports and challenge myself as well. So, can you go to Mama? Just 1 second, Emma. Emma. Go to Mama. It's my daughter.
Yeah.
Other people have dogs. I have a daughter. So I always been very competitive, and the thing was, like, when we started this band when I was like 16, and I was like a scratch DJ, and it was a new metal band. So we were basically inspired by Slipknot, Limp Bizkit,
awesome,
Head P, or bands like that.
Yeah.
So, and we were pretty good. So we basically toured not the country, but the region where we lived almost every weekend. So I stopped playing soccer, and I basically stopped doing all the sports for like 3 years. So when I was 19, I had become a little bit chubby, and the band split because people were starting. Basically, the reason why the band split were because all of the members were starting the university, so they started in like different cities. So when we split, I couldn't go back doing like professional soccer because I already missed like 3 of the most important years. So, and I had to find something that I could do because I always wanted to do like competitive stuff. So, and also since I became a little bit chubby, I wanted to lose weight. So I started to read about like how to lose weight and how to train. So I bought these Swedish magazines and I signed up to a gym, and I was like, I think I was gonna turn 20 that year when I started training at the gym. So I started at the gym. I trained for basically like 6 months, and then I noticed that I got some good results.
Yeah.
And I always been competitive, as I said. So I knew that there was one guy in that city where I lived, a small city, who competed in something. I didn't know if it was bodybuilding or fitness or whatever it was. And at that time, it was called fitness. You don't have it in America, but we have it in Europe. So
Yeah.
basically, you compete in pull-ups, dips, and then there is an obstacle course, and then there is a physique round as well.
Wow.
So I wanted to compete in that, but when I joined the other gym, the trainer there, he told me like, no, you're still a junior, so you can do bodybuilding. You don't have to be that big. So the second year of training, I competed in bodybuilding, and my weight was like 65 kgs, which is like what is that, point times 2.2, one maybe like 140 pounds, 135 pounds.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's
so I gained, so I gained a lot since then. So, but
yeah.
that was how I started, and then like I won my first 4 shows, so I basically became bit by the iron bug, and
Yeah.
I wanted to see how far I could go. So, but I mean, like in the beginning, it was just like national level, local level, and I just want to see how far I can come in Sweden. So, yeah.
Yeah, we covered a lot right there, and I kind of want to like dive into like each part we talked about. But I can't even imagine you being 140 pounds on stage like that. I just can't imagine that.
Uh,
But like one thing I did want to ask, well, what's it like going on stage for like a concert with your band compared to a bodybuilding stage?
I mean, like I have never been nervous going up on a bodybuilding stage, but with the band, I was nervous every time
Yeah,
because there could always be something going wrong with the electricity, the sound, anything could go wrong. And I mean, like you were also depending on other people as well, not only yourself. So because it was all about timing and like how well we worked together. So yeah, I was really nervous. I I used to take like 1 hour before stage to just sit, relax, and listen to like calm music.
yeah,
Uh, but when it comes to bodybuilding, basically you're supposed to be ready when you go up on stage. So I never been like nervous.
yeah.
So
Now,
that's the main difference.
like being in the band and being on stage, were there any crazy moments? Because like when I listened to like Henry Rollins talk about it, like he said that there'd be like fights going on in the crowd and people would be throwing stuff at the band. Did anything like that ever happen to you?
Yeah, but I mean it's so long ago, so I don't really remember. But I mean, like since we were playing neo metal, it was supposed to be crazy. I mean, like we had what's it called? Mars pits. Is it called like that?
Yeah,
Mars
the
pits.
mosh
Yeah,
pits.
Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had it like every time we played. It was like
Wow.
it was part of the show more or less, and stage dives and all those crazy things. So it was kind of part of the whole thing. So
I have like two stories about the mosh pits. One is one I never experienced before. It was when my mom and my dad went, and they were like in the crowd, and they were pretty close to the stage, and there was this one guy who was like drunk. He's been drinking a lot, and he pulled it out and started peeing all over the floor, and security came and tackled him, and they were wrestling around in the pee. And when they found out what it was that they were wrestling in, they took the guy and just like threw him out.
that's
And
crazy.
I know, I can't even imagine that. Just a guy peeing right next to you on the floor. And then the
Yeah,
second,
drunk people do a lot of crazy stuff.
yeah, and the second time is a concert I went to, and it was Zach Wild, and there was a mosh pit going on, and he started playing the guitar, and he walked into the mosh pit and walked right through him like nothing, and just like moved people out of the way while playing still.
And they let him play.
Yeah, they took the
That's crazy.
cord, and he was like playing, like pushing everyone past and
Yeah,
continuing playing. He went on top. He climbed up like a big tower thing that was on the
wow.
side while playing. and it was just
Our
a crazy
singer always,
experience.
yeah, our singer always used to crowd surf while he was singing, like on
Yeah,
his back. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But
yeah,
that's as far as we went. But I mean, like we
yeah,
were still young, so our audience was kind of young as well. So we did a few bigger concerts, but never like anything really big. So
yeah. Now, like, did your when you were on there, did your band like ever make any mistakes, or did you like always hit the point every time?
no. Of course, we made mistakes.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
you
like
misplayed a
we
note.
was we were still young, and I mean, like the youngest member, I think he was like 13 when we started to play.
Yeah,
So we were still learning, and we were just having fun. So,
oh, yeah,
but I mean, like we practiced a lot. I think like we had rehearsal like 3 times a week, and then we played on the weekends. So,
yeah.
and yeah,
Now, when we were talking back and forth on Instagram, you said that you were back in Sweden.
yeah,
What's it like there? Being able to see your daughter and your wife. What's it like being back in Sweden?
it's good. I enjoy being here. The only thing that I miss really about Dubai is like the gyms.
Yeah,
The gyms there are crazy. So, and also the environment for bodybuilding in general is better in Dubai than Sweden. But I mean, I don't have any issues living and training here. I mean, I think I've came so far that I have to come to be able to live anywhere in the world and still be able to do this. So, and I mean, like I love being with the family. That's the best part being here. So,
yeah,
and being happy and being like what do you say, being like satisfied
yeah,
with your life does a lot for the training as well. So yeah, I prefer being with my family no matter where that is. But I mean, like of course I miss Dubai as well. So
yeah. And now, like being a father and being a bodybuilder that has to like travel to compete and stuff. What's it like being away from your family when that time comes?
uh, I mean, like when we travel, it's not for that long time. Can du gå upp och lägga dig där? Eller gå till mamma? No, go to mama. So I mean, like when I've been in Dubai, I've been away from them for like months at a time. So that's worse.
Yeah,
Uh, so traveling for competitions, usually they come with me. It's just the last year that they haven't. So and honestly, sometimes when you travel to compete, it's better to be alone so you can focus on just the competitions and the shows. Uh, because it can be hard to have the family around you to have to adjust to them as well.
yeah.
So, but I mean, like I love traveling with them, so I rather have them with me when I travel, of course. So, but it's not possible all the time. So, it's an extra expense as well. So,
You're the second father that we've had on the show. The first was Jamie the Giant, who's
yeah,
competing today.
yeah,
Uh, and his daughter, he had an experience where his daughter like brought a boyfriend home, and he was like intimidating the guy because of just how big he was. But for
was he
you,
doing it on purpose or was it like,
yeah, he was kind of messing with the guy, and
okay,
then
yeah,
like the guy was like, the guy said to his daughter like afterwards that he was like, "Man, your dad is very scary, and I don't know if I want to come back here."
and he's tall. He's like,
Yeah, he's like six
he's,
five, I think.
yeah, yeah.
But like for you, what's it gonna be like when your daughter brings home her first boyfriend?
Well,
Yeah,
luckily, it's a couple of years left. She's only 3 years old, so. But I mean, like, of course, I'll probably play around with him a little bit. I mean, make make some jokes. But I mean, like, it's probably going to be in like 10, 15, 10, 12 years. So
yeah.
I don't even know how big I'm going to be at that point.
Hopefully
So
longer. Hopefully longer. But
hopefully. But even if it's like when she's 13, 14, 15, I mean, like, it's still like 10 years left. So maybe I'm a small guy by then. We don't know.
But going back to the whole Sweden thing, 2 weeks ago we had Samantha Jering on the show, and she's from Sweden, and we were
Yes.
talking about the whole bodybuilding scene there.
Yeah.
The whole thing about like if you're like on PEDs and you're driving a car, you could get your like license taken away and just the crazy
Yeah.
things like that. Have you
Yeah.
ever had any experience like this to you?
I've been pretty lucky. They left me alone. I mean, like, they can bother you if they want to, but uh, I mean, like, I moved out of Sweden 2012, so I have been, what do you say, away uh, from Sweden since then. So I haven't been bothered really uh, by anything like that. So, but I mean, like, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's just crazy that like being a bodybuilder and like if you want to get to the top level and using like the PEDs and then like having to worry about like the police and the law coming after you basically when you're
yeah,
trying to like get to your dream body, you know?
yeah. I mean, like, I think Sweden, Norway, and Denmark is basically the only countries where the police can stop you just based on your looks,
Yeah.
and they don't even need like a warrant or anything. They can just search your home and your car immediately just based on your looks. So,
Yeah.
luck. So far, I've been lucky. So,
Yeah.
knock on wood.
But you're talking about like the gyms in Dubai.
Yeah.
Do you mind like telling me about that crazy gym? I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but a lot of the guys go there. A lot of people go there to train.
Yeah. It's
Like
probably
Larry
Binus.
Wheels and them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's probably Binus gym.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that was my home gym since I came to Dubai. I started to train there. Uh, was it 2015? I think.
Yeah,
And then he changed uh, the place. He moved to a new place like 2 years ago, which is the place that you can see on all the videos. And it's been really popular, especially since Larry Wheels and those guys started to train there. So,
yeah,
and it is a really good gym. It is for sure.
yeah.
It's
It
not the
looks.
best gym in UAE, but it's the best gym in Dubai for sure. There is another one
Yeah,
called Olympia Gym where I train as
yeah,
well, which is
yeah. I
even
think.
better. So
Yeah, I was watching one of your videos, and I think it was the Olympia gym where they had like a
mm,
facial recognition to get in. Is that true?
yeah, yeah.
Man,
But they all have all the Binus have as well. So
really?
most of them have. I think the three gyms that I train at, Binus Gym, Olympia Gym, and Al Majid Gym, they all have face recognition uh, as passes to get into the door.
Wow,
So
isn't that crazy? Like,
I
did
mean,
you?
like,
Yeah,
I haven't thought about it, but I mean, like, for me, it's been perfectly normal. So
yeah. Because like at the gyms in America, like the gyms I go to, there's no facial recognition. It's all like pin code.
yeah,
But so I've never had to experience it.
you don't have like thumb print fingerprints or anything. It's just pin
No,
codes.
it's just pin
Okay.
code.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Here they
man,
all go by either thumbprints, fingerprints, or by facial recognition in
yeah,
Dubai. So
facial recognition seems like it's like one of those like futuristic things where they're hiding like some big massive thing, and you have to have the right
yeah,
face to get in.
they probably save all the pictures and put it in a database somewhere to
Yeah,
track us.
maybe. Uh But I kind of wanted to go back to like your early bodybuilding career. When you were trying to like put on the size and gain the weight, first, were you like a good eater? Like, did you like have any problems with that? And like, how much would you say you were eating? Were you just like eating everything, just trying to get big?
The first years during my off season, I never counted anything. I just ate whatever I could eat. But maybe like the past 5 years, I'm always counting what I eat off season, but I still eat a lot. I've always been able to eat a lot without any issues. Of course, your appetite gets a little
Yeah.
bit suppressed as more size you put on during the off season. But I mean, like, I think it's harder to diet than to eat a lot of food. So I'm not
Yeah.
a hard gainer, so to say.
Yeah.
But
For me, I am like, well, I used to be a hard gainer, but now I've like overcome that like whole eating problem, and now I just am used to eating all the food I'm eating.
yeah,
Right now I'm eating around like 3,700 calories a day,
that's
and
good. What's your
yeah,
weight?
right now I'm 153 around there.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot
Yeah,
of food.
yeah, it
But
is.
you have like an active life.
Yeah, I
You
go
move
to
a
the
lot.
gym and I'll skateboard with my brother from time to time. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
uh,
eat around 4.5, 5,000 now. So
yeah, yeah.
I can eat more if I want, but it's not necessary.
Yeah. I haven't told my coach yet, but because it's like I'm not sure when it's starting, but I'm gonna be starting up wrestling again. So it's probably gonna have to go up
Yeah,
even more just because of how exhausting wrestling
yeah.
is. And
You
to be
still with
honest,
parents?
yeah, I'm still with Terrence.
Yep,
Uh,
good.
and to be honest, I'm not looking forward to eating all that. I feel like it could be like close to yours, but I don't know because wrestling takes a
Yeah.
toll. It's like an hour and it's like an hour to 2 hours of cardio, just straight.
But don't you experience that the more you move, the hungrier you get as well?
Yeah, yeah. So
So I mean, if you're gonna wrestle, you're probably gonna be hungrier anyway. So
yeah, I feel like some days will be really easy, and then some days I could just be not feeling hungry, and then it could be like a really hard
yeah.
day. Yeah, but I
So
remember I remember you. Oh, go ahead.
oh, no, go ahead. You go ahead.
I was
It's your
gonna
show.
say I remember. I remember you talking about your ruptured disc and how when you were in bed for I can't remember how long you said it was. Uh, that
You have a very
that
good memory. Yeah, six
yeah,
weeks more or less.
yeah, and you said like you only had the appetite to eat like one meal, which was McDonald's.
I didn't even have the appetite to eat that meal, but it was basically the only meal I can eat laying on my back.
Yeah.
So I had one meal of McDonald's every day. It was like 1,200 calories. Uh, but yeah, so I think I lost like 25, 25 pounds in those 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So
Well, like the crazy thing is, I don't know if you know this, but I've never eaten McDonald's before,
I
and
know.
yeah, it's crazy. So my dad says when I turn 16, I'll be able to have it for the first time, and we're gonna make like a YouTube video of it.
Yeah.
Because when I interviewed a lot of the guys, they were saying like, because I told them this, and they all thought it was crazy and that it's absurd, and so when I told them that like when I do try it for the first time, I'll make a video of it, and then they're all gonna share it and blow it up like a 16-year-old eats McDonald's for the first time ever.
The first time, yeah. What do you think? You think you're gonna like it?
I probably not. I don't know.
Do you like burgers? Like
Yeah,
in
I like
general?
burgers. Yeah.
What kind? What kind? Where do you go when you eat your burgers?
Well, there's a lot of like restaurants around here, so I'll usually order like takeout. It's not usually the fast food stuff. Cause
So it's
I've
like
never had. Yeah, it's
real
like real.
restaurant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cause like aside from McDonald's, I've never had like Burger King or Dairy Queen or anything like that.
Okay. You never have Five Guys or In and Out
I've had Five
or
Guys. There's no In and Outs around here,
okay.
so I think
What do you think about Five Guys?
I think Five Guys is good. They have good
Yeah.
fries. They load it up,
Yeah.
but I
I
know that
like
like
Five Guys.
yeah, I know that like McDonald's compares is differentiates from place to place because I know like here in America it tastes one way and then in Japan say something like that it's just totally different and it's like they use like real
Uh,
burgers and real everything.
Honestly, I think McDonald's is pretty much the same wherever I tasted it.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I don't think it differs that much. Emma, what do you think?
Yeah, McDonald's tastes pretty much the same,
Yeah, she says the same,
but it's
Yeah.
not good.
but she doesn't like it. She only eats the fish burger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not like a burger.
yeah, she eats the fish burger and
We have a
cheeseburger.
pretty
Yeah.
nice one. It's called Max Burger here in Sweden.
Yeah, we have our local Swedish
Yeah.
restaurant that is called Max. Uh, that's a really, really good burger,
Yeah.
but it's more like an authentic burger as well. So
Yeah. I think there's a Max's Burger next to us, and
yeah, but do you think it's I don't think it's the Swedish one because I think they
no,
only
I don't
exist
think so.
in
Th-
Sweden and they have one or two branches in UAE as well.
Yeah, they do
So
like the gourmet burgers and
yeah,
like steaks and that sort of thing. And then there's a whole like Max like chain. It's like they do like the seafood and
okay,
the burgers and just things like that.
okay, yeah,
So yeah. But I remember like going back to McDonald's again. Uh like I was watching a YouTuber and they were I can't remember the place they were in, but it was like might have been Japan. And
yeah.
he ordered like a fish thing, and it was like an actual fish. It wasn't like a fish. It was like a fried
Oh,
fish. Yeah. So
that's crazy.
yeah, I know. And then like
But
here in America,
are you
it's
looking
totally
forward
different.
to it?
I'm looking forward to it, but I don't know how my stomach's gonna handle it from never eating it before. So I'm gonna like try and like
I mean,
order a lot of stuff, and then I'll probably just like be in the toilet the rest of the day.
I heard different stories because my stomach can handle McDonald's very, very well. But then
Yeah,
there are other fast food chains that I cannot handle. But I mean, like McDonald's, it's perfectly fine.
yeah,
So
yeah. Well,
yeah.
I'll turn six.
So
I turned 16 in about a month and a half. So we'll
okay,
see what happens.
did Fuad tell you what to order or who you going by?
I'm gonna like try and just see what interests my eye. I think I want to try a
Yeah,
lot of stuff. Like
yeah,
I'll probably pick a lot of stuff out, and it'll be like my one big cheat meal.
yeah,
Yeah. So all
yeah.
right, but moving on. I want to talk a little bit about the video you did with Larry Wheels. In Benoit's gym. What was that whole
Yeah.
thing like? What's Larry like in real life?
He's cool. He's not as funny as he is in the videos.
Yeah.
His girlfriend is funnier. I mean, like,
They
he,
broke up.
they broke up. Oh, my wife tells me that they broke up.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
Anyway, no, because I mean, like the stuff he does is more like YouTube video fun
Yeah.
stuff. He makes them up. So, but I mean, like he's strong as hell. He's
Yeah.
genetically a freak, uh, and he trains heavy. But I mean, like he wanted to try to bodybuild, like training like bodybuilding style, and he can't handle high volume. I mean, like he almost threw up when we trained arms. So, but I mean, like you become good at what you practice. So he trained differently. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, like he's a good guy. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, I know that he's like a very strong person, but what do you think of the whole thing of everyone like accusing him of using like fake weights on like the double barbell like presses that he does for Instagram and
No, no,
YouTube?
no. Trust me, he doesn't use any fake weights at all.
Yeah, I was talking
None,
about it, and
none.
I don't think he uses any fake weights, and
No, no, no.
cause
I trained with him as well. Like, I mean, like trained. And when we did shoulders, I mean, like he got sent to him like these special handles so you can add weights on, and we used them for like one session. We did shoulders. It was me, him, Blessing, and some other guy from Redcon as well. I forgot his name. Sorry about that.
it's all
And
right.
and he was using like 100 and could have been like 60 pounds, and
Yeah.
when he threw them down, the bar just bent. So they were useless after one workout. So no, he doesn't use fake weights, never.
Yeah, I don't think
So
so.
and that's no point. I mean, like, what's the reason for him to use fake weights. I mean, like,
yeah. And I don't know why people would like, because if you look back on his Instagram, you see he's been doing like these sort of crazy videos for about like 3 years, and just now people are starting to
that's
accuse
how
him.
that's how he became famous. So
Yeah,
because of his strength, and I mean, like, I understand that people that haven't experienced something or that cannot do something themselves, they have a misbelief when someone can do things that they can't do. But people have to realize that there are crazy genetic people out there who,
yeah,
it doesn't matter what, if it's bodybuilding or if it's powerlifting or whatever it is. Just because you can't do it doesn't mean someone else can't do it. So
yeah.
there are really gifted people out there for sure.
Yeah. Now you brought up Blessing, and he had the
Yeah,
whole thing with Nick Walker, and they were kind of
yeah.
like hyping that whole thing up. And you said that Larry Wheels wasn't as funny as he is on camera in real life.
No,
What's Blessing like in real life?
I honestly just met Blessing a few times, but he's the way he is always.
Yeah.
Like he does, yeah. It's that's just his personality. So he's
Yeah.
the boogeyman for sure. Definitely.
I
So
want to talk about your like competing this year. I know that you
yeah,
competed at the New York Pro and at the Indy.
yep.
And I know that you didn't get the finishes that you planned for or hoped for.
No, I was not really just the placing. It was more like how I showed up. It was,
Yeah.
I mean, like if I showed up in my best shape and I got the placings that I got, that's a different thing. But I mean, like I was more disappointed about how I showed up. Because I know there's a lot of people who supports me and who wants me to do good and like wants me to be my best and has what do you say, their faith in me as well. So I felt like I let them down as well. So yeah, but
Now, do you mind like talking a little bit more about that? Like, what do you think
no, I'll talk about
lagged
anything.
on?
So
All right.
just ask whatever you want.
Okay.
So yeah, you have
So what
any
do you
specific questions, or do you just want me to talk about it? Or
what do you think went wrong? Because like I see like on your like Instagram posts, you always look full and you always look as big as a house. But like, what do you think
yeah,
happens when the time for the stage comes?
the thing was like I was having some personal issues, family issues at that time, uh, and I just basically more or less just wanted to go back to Sweden and to get my life together. And I was coaching myself, which not always is a good idea. I did it in 2018, and I did very well in 2018.
Yeah.
Uh, but this time, I mean, like I was thinking about so many things, and I just wanted to do well, and I was pushing my body too hard, and that together with like all my personal issues that I had, my private issues, I think my body just stopped responding when I was like 4 weeks out. I mean, like I think I looked my best when I was maybe 6 or 7 weeks out, and then like 4 weeks out, I probably had the best shape and still had the fullness and roundness. And then after that, I just got basically I lost all the size, all the fullness, and I didn't lose any fat at all. I just
Yeah.
kept losing size, more or less. So it's hard to say exactly what went wrong, but my body just stopped responding around 4 weeks out, and I probably pushed it too hard. It was overstressed. So, and then at that time, your mind is just so messed up, and when you coach yourself, you just question everything, and you just want to push harder and harder and harder because you think like, okay, if I'm flat, at least I can come in hard. But my physique doesn't work that. I need to
Yeah.
be hard and full to look good. So yeah,
No.
I don't have
No.
anyone else to blame but myself. But that's
Yeah.
basically what happened. Uh,
Did you ever like have any thoughts of like pulling out of any of those shows that you did?
the thing is, I would never pull out. That's the thing, and I know that it might probably be better sometimes to do that, but in my mind, I can't do. I don't know how to give up.
Yeah.
So for me, pulling out of a show would be like giving up. So no, it wasn't. If I had a coach and he told me to do that, then I would probably would have done it.
Yeah.
But if I had a coach, I would probably not have um, stressed my body as I did as well. So next time I will work with someone for sure.
Yeah. Now, wasn't the New York Pro and the Indie Pro like what was it, like a week or two difference between them?
Yeah, it was 1 week between India and New York.
Yeah.
So
Do you think like that was also some of the cause because it was just like back to back show?
no, I mean like if if I was 100% to Indy and not 100% to New York, sure. But I think I was worse at the Indy than I was at New York. Uh, so no, it didn't have anything to do with it. So
Yeah. So what's the plan for the rest of the year? Do you have like any shows in mind, or are you gonna wait till next year?
there is a few shows in Europe actually at the end of the year after the Olympia. So they will be qualifiers to the next year's Olympia.
Yeah.
Um, I want to do them. So for now, I'm having like an off season during the summer, and then I probably need at least 3 months of hard diet before those shows.
Yeah.
So I'll try to do a few of those. Um, I actually want to compete a little bit more in Europe, so it's good.
Now, like going into those shows that you're gonna be doing, like what's the number one thing that you want to improve on?
Uh, Physique wise, or like in
Yeah,
general.
like physique
I
wise.
mean, like physique wise, it's my lower back and my chest. But in general, I need to come in lean and hard. So
Yeah.
that's basically it. I need to diet hard. I need to have someone who can tell me when to pull back and when to push harder. So I need to get someone who I feel I can trust
Yeah.
and that I feel. Also, like I hate not being in control, so I have to like let go of the control and let someone else do all the thinking and decision making. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's basically it.
Now, like, do you have anyone in mind for like coaching?
I have one in Sweden that I have in mind, and then I have a few other guys that I thought of, but I haven't decided yet, or nothing
Yeah.
is set yet. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you on the stage again.
Yeah, me too. I have some. What do you say? Redemption to make.
Yeah. uh, could you tell me and the people watching a little bit about how you got in with Hostile and Fuad and how you became a part of the team there?
Yeah, I always been following Fuad's bodybuilding journey and career, and when he started the podcast, I always been listening and watching the podcast. And then when he started Hostile for like 1 year back, uh, I contacted him and told him that I was interested. And uh, at that time, he wasn't signing athletes outside US and Canada. So when he started to sign international athletes, he actually contacted me and asked me if I was still looking for a sponsor. So I said, of course. So that's basically how it was. So
Yeah. Now, what's the whole experience like been so far?
I'm super happy with everything, with the how they work, with how they treat the athletes, and the communication and everything. So I can't be more happy. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm also excited about Hostile's future. I know it's still a new company, and they are not like super huge, and they still don't have like the biggest line of products, but the products that they have are crazy good. The ingredients are high potent, potency. So I mean, like, I love the products, and I actually use all of the products that they have. So I'm looking forward to what is coming. I know there is some new products being produced at the moment. So yeah, I'm happy for them, and I'm happy for me to be a part of the team as well.
Now, did you sign the contract to get you on Fuad's show, like the Bro Chat or the Bodybuilding and Bullocks? When are you gonna be
No,
on
there's
there, man?
nothing. There is nothing like that. But I would love to come on. So
Yeah,
whenever God is ready to invite me, I'm here. So
yeah, you gotta throw
the
some
problem
words
is
at.
like my mother tongue is not English, so I mean, like, it's easier to have someone who speaks more fluent English, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of that, how many languages do you speak?
Swedish fluent, Norwegian, English. I mean, like, I speak Arabic, but it's broken. But I can speak it and understand it. I don't write and read so good, but I can still read some.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Then I know like a few words French, a few words Spanish and Portuguese, but nothing like crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's cool that you know all those languages because you'll be able to talk and do
Yeah,
that thing without any problems. So yeah,
yeah,
better than I can do.
yeah. How many do you speak?
You're looking at it. Yeah.
The one. Yeah, but I mean, like,
A little
if
bit
you
of Spanish, but I'm not the
I
greatest
mean,
at
like,
it.
yeah. Where do you live in the U.S.?
I live on the northern eastern part, so towards Canada.
Okay, okay. So it's like main area.
Connecticut, a little bit lower.
Yeah, low. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you don't need Spanish that much.
Yeah, unless I travel south. So
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about the show that's going on right now, the Puerto Rico Pro.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on the whole show? Who do you think's gonna take the win?
I haven't seen as much, to be honest. I've been traveling the whole day today, so uh, I'm rooting for a guy, of course, in the 212. I think it's a pretty small lineup from what I've seen, and there is none of the guys who did the earlier shows that are doing these shows. I don't think there is anyone from the guys who did the India or New York in at least 212 who's doing the Puerto Rico Pro. In the Open, there is a few guys from India and New York. I know Hassan is doing the Open, and Akeem. I love Akeem's physique. He's so full and thick. It's crazy.
Yeah, and he's so strong, like in the gym.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Crazy. Yeah. Now I was I was listening to Nick's Power and Strength, and they were talking about how there's not so many people in the 212 category at this show. I think there's 4 or 5 competitors.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Think it's too little for a show?
Yeah, honestly, I think like they should have like the deadline for the competitors to sign up to a show like 3 or 4 weeks out, and then they should be like a limit. If there is less than 10 people, they shouldn't do the shows. That's what I think. But I mean, like, it's up to the promoter. I mean, like, if you want to do the show and there's only 3 or 4 people coming, who's gonna stop him? So
yeah. And when he was talking, he was also saying that the IFBB were like thinking about like going away with 212. Have you heard anything like that, or like?
No, I haven't heard.
No?
No, I haven't heard anything.
Yeah,
Look,
I'm not
they
sure.
removed the 212 from the Arnold Classic, and I think that's a shame because the 212 today is sometimes more competitive. Not sometimes, but almost all the times more competitive than than the open category. And I understand that people like to watch the open category more than the 212 because of they are bigger guys.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, when you talk about quality, I think the lowest level is higher in the 212 than it is in the open.
Yeah.
So you get like a more even class almost every time. And I mean, like if you look at the Indie Pro and New York Pro, and you look at the top 5, I mean, like all of them were in shape and they were crazy. Okay, the open guys were good as well, but they were not as good as the 212 guy, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So I have no idea how they reason when it comes to removing it from the Arnold Classic.
Yeah. I don't know like how people would like take that, and like the people that have like are like really doing good in 212, like, and then they just like get rid of it. I don't know like what they would do
No,
and like how it would
no.
affect their career.
Who
Yeah,
said that?
it wouldn't. Well, I heard Nick Strength and Power talking about that, and I don't know how true it is, but yeah.
He wasn't just talking about the Arnolds.
No, he was talking about like they had like talks about like going away with 212, and he was talking about the Puerto Rico Pro a lot. So I don't know,
Yeah,
because he brought it up when there's only like 4 or 5 competitors in the show
yeah,
this weekend.
yeah. But I think like that's more because of where the show is,
Yeah,
both in time and place. Because there are not any other show like close to it. I mean, like next show is like what, Chicago Pro in 4
yeah,
weeks, or what is it? So I
yeah,
mean, like if they moved it closer to Chicago, probably, or closer to Indy and New York, there would probably be more competitors. Because if you look at the lineup at Indy and New York, there was at least like 10, 12 guys in each show, and I think that's not little for being like the first show of the year when it's like a COVID year or whatever you want to call it, when people are restricted to travel. So
yeah.
I mean, like, yeah.
Now,
Nah, I think it's if they remove the 212, there will people for sure will make some noise.
yeah. Who do you think will take the 212 Olympia this year? Do you think it's gonna be Sean Clarity again, or do you think it's gonna be a battle between him and Keon? Like, who do you think is gonna win Mr. O?
I want to see Keon come in like really really super shredded,
Yeah,
because his physique, his shape is incredible, and I think like he put on even more size and still kept his shape this year. So, but I mean, like, I love Sean Clarita as well. He's so full, he's so round, and he was shredded. I had Kamal winning the prejudging at the last year's Olympia, but then in the finals I had Sean winning. So, and Kamal is so much smaller than Sean is, not like weight wise, but like
yeah,
physique wise. He doesn't have like the fullness, the roundness, and the crazy muscle bellies that Sean has. So
yeah. Like, if you look at Sean in the 212, he is absolutely massive and looks a lot bigger than a lot of people. And then when you put someone next to like people in the open, he looks small and like a little kid next to them. But it's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, I don't know if Derek Lunsford is gonna go to the Open or if he's gonna stay in the
Yeah,
212. But I mean, like, if you compare their physique, Derek is like on the limit, the weight limit. So I think he needs to be fuller and bigger to look as good as possible. So he probably to look as good as possible, he probably needs to go to the Open. While Sean, he's so far away from the weight limit, so
yeah,
there's no issues there at all. So
yeah.
yeah,
Now, I
it's
want
gonna
to
be
get
interesting.
to. Yeah, it is. It's gonna be really interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing who's gonna take it. Uh, Now I want to get to some fan questions for you before we get to the last
Sure.
question. So the first one, kind of like a basic one. What is your favorite cheat meal?
Oh, I love everything. Is it food or sweets?
Either or. Do like one from each.
Uh, when it comes to food, like cheat meal, it gotta be like burger and fries.
Yeah.
uh, like burger and sweet potato fries.
Yeah. Are,
That's
are you a
yeah.
are you a are you a fan of sushi?
Yeah, I love sushi, but I don't consider it as a cheat meal. Okay, I mean, like people say, like if it's not on your diet, it's a cheat. Yes, but there's a difference between cheat meal and cheat meal.
Yeah. You
So
should
I don't consider sushi as a cheat meal in
you
that
should
in
take
that sentence.
you should go on a Fuwad's meal plan and start spending
Yeah,
$800 a month on sushi.
that's crazy. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Is it even possible? I mean, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. What
But
about
I
for
mean, like,
sweets?
I love sweets. Swedish candy is the best candy there is,
Yeah.
and
Well,
ice cream. I'm a sucker for ice cream. So
yeah. What about Swedish fish? Right.
yeah, but the thing is, like, the Swedish fish that you buy in US is not the same as the Swedish
I
fish
know.
you buy here. I'll
Yeah.
bring you some next time I'll come there.
All right. Yeah,
You
because
get
I
to
know
taste the
here
real
it's
Swedish fish.
probably not as good as it is there.
No.
So when we had Samantha on,
Yeah.
she was saying like how bad American food is compared to Swedish food,
Food or
like candy,
oh, candy. Yeah,
candy
yeah,
and desserts.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There's no comparison at all.
yeah. Now, like, since you're saying like you're a huge fan of eating, and you like basically everything, like, what's your least favorite food? Like, what's the food that you like hate?
Like there is no food that I eat on a daily basis or that I have to eat on a daily basis that I hate. But I mean, there are some really weird foods they have here in Sweden as well that I wouldn't eat.
Like what?
There is something called what is surströmming in English?
I don't know.
There is like a fish that tastes.
It's like rotten fish.
It's like rotten fish, more or less.
Yeah.
It's called surströmming in Swedish. It's really bad. And then there are like other stuff that I don't eat. Like they have these things that it's almost like a pancake, but it's made out of pure blood.
What?
So it's called like it's they just fry blood.
It's a blood
It's
cake.
pig's blood. They just fry it. Yeah, it's called.
Is that like a blood
Blodpudding.
sausage made in?
No, it's not even
Yeah,
sauce.
but it's
It
kind of-
is.
yeah.
She says it's kind of it, but it's more like they eat it more like a pancake. So it's called blood pudding.
Yeah.
So it's a black piece of just fried blood that they eat with jam. It's yeah.
I know, like I've seen like on YouTube and like you see like the late show people kind of doing that. I know like James Corden, the guy who does the late night show or whatever it's called. They'll do like a food spinning thing, and it's just all gross food. And I know that one
Yeah.
of the foods is like bull testicles. Would you ever be open to eating that?
Yeah.
You would?
I had not bull, but sheep,
Sheep?
testicles.
Oh,
Yeah.
What was that? Was it good?
It tastes good. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's a
don't know.
pretty common thing in Arab countries. So
Yeah. I don't know
Yeah,
about
I
bull
had that.
testicles though.
it's probably the same. So
Yeah. Skating between you and James, who's gonna get hurt first?
you're looking at him.
When should I start to reverse diet?
Oh,
That's just a fan. That's not mine.
honest-
That's just a fan question.
yeah. Is it like in general for anyone who does a diet or
It's
Because-
just not sure. It's
because I don't think like you should reverse diet unless you have maybe like a photo shoot in a couple of weeks again or something like that.
yeah.
Because I think like after a diet, you have two options: maintaining the shape that you are in, just to maintain it. Then it's not a reverse diet. Then you go back to what's your basic metabolic rate or your calorie balance, and then you stay there, because you're not going to put on any fat if you just go back to whatever you consume.
Yeah. Now,
Is the same as you burn. The reverse thing, I never liked it, because there's no such a thing as a reverse diet, because if you're in a calorie deficit, it's a diet no matter what you call it. So if you're dieting on 2,500 calories and your need is 3,000, and you just bump it up to 2,600, it's still a diet, even if you're reversing the calories. So, in my mind or opinion, there is no such a thing as a reverse diet. And also, if the goal is to put on size after the diet, then I just think that you should go back to eating as much food as possible as soon as possible.
yeah.
So, reverse dieting is, I don't know, it's just bullshit in my opinion. So, because it doesn't make any sense, because what's the reason to diet on a less deficit than before? It's just going to make you keep going with your diet until you bump up your calories till you reach your calorie balance. So I can't see the point with it.
Yeah. All right.
If
So
you understand what I'm
I
saying.
I hear where you're coming from. This next one is kind of like my fan question to you. It's a 3-parter.
Sure.
So the first part is being back home in Sweden. Are you watching all the kid shows with your daughter, or are you watching the shows that you want to watch?
Not on YouTube, you mean?
Yeah, or regular TV.
No, like I don't watch as much her shows as she does. But I mean, like, I don't watch as much podcasts as I usually do.
Yeah.
But that's probably because I'm not dieting, because I watch more podcasts when I'm on diet, when I do my cardio and stuff. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, like, I do a lot of other stuff with her. So, but watching her shows, it's like more like we give her the TV or the pad when we want to be alone. so, so I don't watch her shows. She only watch her shows by
Yeah.
herself, more or less.
I remember watching one of your videos, and it was like a day in a life kind of video that you did for Hostile. And when you opened up the computer, one of my podcasts was on there, and I was happy to see that you listened to them, because I think that was when that was like my 3rd episode, I think, that you were listening to, and I wasn't like the greatest at podcasts yet, and seeing you being a supporter back then, respect.
I like when people want to try new things and want to challenge themselves and are not afraid of stepping into ground they haven't experienced or done before. So, and also, like, it's kind of interesting to see someone younger coming at us, because we are usually interviewed by people that have been in the business and retired from the business, but you haven't barely started yet. So yeah, I think that's very interesting. I mean, like, your questions are a bit different than the usual questions that we get. So
like
I don't think that you should look at the podcasts that are already existing and try to do the same as they do. Just do your own thing, man.
Yeah, like, I try not to just like for example, like with you, I try not to just talk about bodybuilding. I try and talk about like everything, like what you did before that, and like, just talk about everything, not just make it like all about bodybuilding, kind of make it like an inspiration perspective, and like how to like get after your goals and that sort of thing. Just be inspirational.
The thing is, like, as a bodybuilder, you basically assume that everyone just want to see like bodybuilding stuff on your social media and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
for example, now I spent 10 days now with my wife's family. We went on a trip. We stayed with them for like 10 days. And the only time in the day that I did bodybuilding stuff was when I was in the gym. Then the rest of the day I was doing like normal family stuff with them. We were like, we have our daughter and they have like 5 kids, so we were doing like a lot of kid stuff.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I've been doing like the last 10 days. And when you go into my Instagram, it basically doesn't show anything of that. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of bodybuilders and me as well are afraid to show like normal life or day stuff, because we just assume that because people are following us as bodybuilders, they just want to see like bodybuilding stuff. So
Yeah. Well, a thing that blew me away, like I I usually post a lot of like the workout stuff and like the podcast stuff, and like a week or two ago I posted a picture of a toolbox that I built from
yeah,
scratch, and that's
yeah,
kind of like my most viewed or my most liked picture,
yeah.
and it wasn't even like bodybuilding related.
No, I do stuff like that as well. I sometimes I post a picture and I think, should I really post this? And then it just blows up, and it's like,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa. So do I know my followers this bad? So I post a picture and I think it's gonna be like no likes, and it becomes the most liked picture of all.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Like I've gotten people to like that post of the toolbox that I've never even talked to before that don't even follow me. Like I got like
yeah,
Evan Centopani to like the post and comment on it. I was not
yeah,
expecting that at all, and it was just like a simple post, and
yeah.
it
That's
got
cool.
so many likes on it. But
Cool.
yeah. But going back to the family thing, how did they take it when you first started like bodybuilding and started using like the PEDs and really starting to get big?
I mean, like I always been supported by my mom and dad and that side. Uh, so then it has never been an issue from that side. I always have been supported. Even like my first diets, my mom made all my food. I was still living at home, so she did all the cooking, and she learned also about how to eat healthy. And she likes to cook food, and she likes to learn new stuff. So from that side, it was no issues at all. And I mean, like my wife, I met her like 10 years ago, so she was already she already knew what I was doing when I met her, and she's been seeing my whole journey. I mean, like I turned pro in 2016. It was like 5 years ago. So we've been together for like 5 years when I turned pro. So she knew what I was doing, and she always been supportive of my journey as well. And I mean, like we moved from Sweden first to Norway. Uh, because of bodybuilding, and then we left Norway to Dubai 2014, I think, for the same reason, because of bodybuilding. So she's always been very supportive. And then they moved back to Sweden when we got our daughter, because she wanted her to grow up with a family here. So
Yeah.
yeah, but
Well,
they always been very supportive. So
what was it like the first time you met your wife when you're all big and jacked? What'd she think? Like the other side of the
I
family
wasn't
as
that
well.
to be honest, like 2010 when 2011 when I met her, I wasn't that big and jacked. I thought I was, but I wasn't. So, but I mean, like
You sent me
they
this
have always,
picture on Instagram
yeah,
earlier today.
that's when I was like 15, I think.
Yeah. Are you ever gonna grow the hair
Before,
back?
look, if I had hair, I would, but I don't have any hair. It looks like I have, but it's tattooed. So
Ah.
I'm bald.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah. So,
was
but if I had
yeah.
hair, I would grow back my dreadlocks for sure.
When
Definitely.
I think it was like when I first came across you, you had such an awesome beard and it was like perfect, and
Yeah.
it was like the dream beard that every man wishes of having. And it was when you were getting ready for your show, and then you had to like shave it off, and then you had like the mustache and the goatee, and I was like, where is his beard? And I started freaking out.
I will never I will never shave off my beard again. Never.
Yeah.
I miss it so bad. So it's getting back. It's still like
Yeah.
still short, but it's coming back. Don't worry about it.
Now, for everyone watching, can you like give them the keys to like a perfect beard like yours?
I don't know if there is any key. I mean, like, if you don't have a good growth, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I never had a good beard until I was like 30 plus. It came late, and especially the mustache. I mean, like, I had zero mustache up till I was like 30 years or something like that. I still had the beard. I can send you pictures when I was 19 or 18. I have like a full beard, but I have zero mustache. So, but
Yeah,
I think
I
like,
want to see that.
yeah, but the only tip that I have is like take care of it, comb it every day, use the beard oils and wash it properly. Uh, so and trim it so it looks good.
Yes.
That's the only tips. But I mean, like to grow a better beard, I don't know. I don't think there is anything you can do. You see all these commercials and ads for like products that should make your beard thicker and fuller, but I don't believe in those products.
What do you think of my beard?
You have any?
Nope.
You have it?
I had to
I
shave
can't
it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I'm a bit disappointed that Nick shaved. He said he was gonna grow his beard for the
Yeah.
show, and then he shaved it.
Yeah.
And he looked good in the beard.
Ian with his mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I have two questions for you.
Yep.
Because I don't want to take up too much of your day. But I was scrolling through your Instagram and I saw like an MMA post that you did. Do you mind telling me about that experience?
Oh, what kind of post was it?
It was like mixed martial arts, like the fighting.
Oh, I was doing the mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
That was probably just for the foodie shoot because I suck at it. Yeah. I think it was when I was sponsored by a food company, and they are also sponsoring these Brazilian jiu-jitsu guys, the professional guys, and we were doing something together. So no. I tried it once, like way back, and I'm too heavy. I can't do it. So.
Like we said, my coach is Terrence, and he trains at Dave Batista's gym.
Yeah.
And Dave is into the whole jiu-jitsu thing, so I'm trying to get Terrence to go wrestle him.
To do that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually think I'm gonna put my daughter on some Brazilian jiu-jitsu or some kind of martial arts. I think it's good for them to learn martial
really
arts early.
Yeah, it's really good for like discipline and self-defense.
Exactly.
I started that like 6 years ago, I think. 5 or 6 years ago, I started it, and it's a really fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but she's still too young. They say that she needs to be 4 years old, so it's like another year. Then I can put her to that. So.
Now, do you watch like any fighting, like UFC or anything
that?
I
do. I watch some, but I'm not like super good with names. I know some of them by name, but not a lot. So,
do you know who Francis Ngannou is?
Yeah, I know because I saw him also when he was on Joe Rogan's podcast. I watch a lot of Joe Rogan's stuff. So
yeah. So you know the whole story of him about like trying to escape his country and getting thrown back into the Sahara.
Exactly. So and he started to train late.
Yeah,
I think when he
I think he's only been
read
doing
the
it
story
for like 5 years.
And that's crazy. Because he had his whole family, I think, up in the yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but are you excited to see him in the Fast and Furious movie?
He's gonna be in it.
Yeah,
That's
I
more
think
than I
so.
knew. To be honest, I think I only seen like one or two Fast and the Furious. I don't
I
know.
don't think
The last one
I
I
don't
saw
think
was when they were.
yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a Fast
The
and
last one
Furious
I saw
movie.
was not.
No, I don't
No.
think so.
Okay, I've seen one at least when they are in Abu Dhabi. So that's
Yeah.
probably the only one I've seen.
Oh man, I wonder how many more they're doing.
Probably just keep going, keep going.
Yeah. But I know that your name is like Samir, the son of Sahara, and like
Yeah.
the whole thing with Francis and like him escaping it, and then the people there will like throw him in the Sahara Desert to like die basically, and then he has to like try and survive just to escape and get out of the misery that he was in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't your father from the Sahara?
The thing is, like, my mom is from Egypt and my dad is from Tunisia. So both of those countries are located in the Sahara Desert. It's northern Africa, so the Sahara Desert goes through both of the countries. So that's why.
Yeah. Have you ever been there to see what it's like?
Yeah, I've been. I mean, like when I grew up, we went to Tunisia like every summer. So I've been there probably like 20 times, and Egypt I've been like a few times. So I've seen the pyramids. And
Nice.
it's great. It's crazy. You don't
Yeah.
you can't understand and fathom how huge those stones are until you stand there. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Yeah,
Yeah. I would like to just see the pyramids in real life and see how big it is.
you have to. You have to.
Yeah.
That shit is crazy for sure.
Yeah. All right. So the last question I have for you is a question that I ask all my guests on this show. And it's for people that aren't the most popular. And it's for people that are kind of stuck in a rut and they have a big goal in mind that they want to achieve, but they
Yeah.
aren't sure how to get started. So, like, what is one piece of advice that you can give to the people watching to go out and chase their dreams?
First advice would be like, don't be afraid of failure, because there's no one who can do what they want to do from the beginning without failing. Everybody needs to try and fail and try and fail and try and fail. It's like when we are kids, we don't know how to do things. We just try them until we learn how to do them. And don't let anyone say you can't do anything, because just because someone else thinks that they can't do anything doesn't mean that you can't do it. We are we are all humans. If someone else can do it, you can do it as well. So don't be afraid of failure, and just try till you succeed. And I don't know, man. That's probably the best advice I can give. And don't listen too much to what other people think or say, uh, because ultimately it's your goal, it's your life. Uh, you can only please so many people, and I mean, like, if you're not pleasing yourself, then nothing matters. And I also think it's important to tell people about your dreams,
Yeah.
because I don't know. There are studies like, if you tell people about your dreams, the chance to succeed is like 30 or 50 or something percent higher, because that way not only are you telling the people, but you're getting their support when they know what your dreams are, and also you're putting some pressure on yourself, because when you're telling people about your dreams and what you want to do, if you fail, then everybody knows that you failed with your dream. So
Yeah.
it puts a little bit more pressure on yourself as well. And people need pressure. So
I
that's my tips.
Yeah. Samir, I think you're a prime example of not being afraid to fail, because I know that you started bodybuilding a little bit later, but you're making a whole heck of a career out of it, and you're
Thanks,
really like
appreciate it.
living the life. And I just want to let you know that I'm a huge supporter of you. I got your back, and I'm really excited to see where you go. And I want to thank you so much for doing this podcast.
It's all my pleasure, and I'm a huge supporter of you as well. So I'm happy to
Thanks.
be on the show.
Yeah, I had a really good time. We had a lot of laughs. You know, when I do that McDonald's video, I'll be sure to tag you in it.
Do it. I'll post it for sure.
All right. Thanks, Samir.
Thank you.
Once again, thanks for doing this.
Peace.
Awesome. Cool.